Yo, what I'm about to do is break it down. Rishi Rich. You ain't heard something like this before. Yeah, sing it.
Hello Pakistan and welcome to a brand new edition of your favorite request show happening right here on Radio FM 91 जिसका नाम है दोस्त क्या सीन है with me Dino live on Radio 1 FM 91 where we bring you international celebrities, superstars, people who are making big waves all over the world. And आपको बता दें right now on the phone all the way live from London I'm going to be speaking to someone who is by far, I mean what can I say, where do I start? International music producer, produced some of the biggest artists that have ever come out from the UK Asian urban music scene. He's by far, he's a pioneer of the UK Asian music genre. I mean, he came out with such great hits and numerous hits, and with numerous people he's introduced in the market, like people from Jay Sean, Juggy D, Veronica, Mumsy Stranger, like the list goes on and on and on. And besides that, he has a production company. He's an amazing musician, and after he came out with his music and the way he just came onto the scene, there were so many different artists that have just continuously and even till now copy his style, and they try their level best to come up with even a hint of what this guy can do when he gets into the studio. And I am so excited. He's by far one of my favorite artists to ever come out from the UK Asian music scene, so really excited to speak to him live all the way from the UK. Please give it up for the one and only Rishi. Rich is on the line. How are you doing, Rishi?
Thank you. Wow, what an intro.
Of course, bro. You deserve it. Absolutely. What's going on? What's going on?
There's so much going on that I need more time right now in my life.
Oh, really? You're not getting any time for yourself? You've just been locked up in the studio?
I'm not getting no sleep.
Are you serious?
It's crazy.
It's crazy. I'm sure it is. But now tell me this. What is the latest that's happening with Rishi Rich? Just sum it up for us. Like, let all the fans know, what is Rishi Rich up to?
Well, I'm working on my solo album.
Right.
Which is featuring every single person from the Asian music industry.
Wow.
I'm just working on H. Dami's second album.
Right.
I've introduced 3 new artists: Romy Shea, Tasha Tar, Abbas Hassan, and just signed a new kind of young Punjabi singing artist called Kiran.
Right.
Also been signed to Sunset Entertainment, stroke Timbaland Productions in America.
Right. That is the big news, no doubt.
So we're going there, and I'm preparing and Juggy again.
Of course, the Rishi Rich Project reunion. Yeah, we heard about that as well.
Yeah. We're coming back here.
Big way. Excellent. Well, tell us about this, Rishi. Now, you obviously are doing so much, and like you say, you're introducing new artists. You've got like Tasha Ta, Abbas Hassan, Romy Shea, Kiran, like you mentioned, and then there's like that whole deal that's going on with Sunset Entertainment, Timbaland, and there's so many artists that have already come out from there as well. Like you have artists like Nelly Furtado's worked with them. You have artists that other big names that have worked with them, and then you're doing your solo album, which everybody's been waiting for. I mean, I've been waiting for the new solo album like for the longest time now. I can't wait to get out. Absolutely. But tell us how do you manage all this? How do you take out time for yourself? Or do you?
But no, not really. That's the thing. It's just about music. I mean, for me, I've kind of developed a kind of attitude where I'll go into the studio when I'm feeling creative.
Right.
But I've got so much work going on, and everything is so different. So, I love going into the studio working on different things. Every day I'm working on a different artist, on a different track. And also Veronica's like my backbone. So, we've got 2 studios, we're working continuously. And, I'm still having fun with, doing music, and I'm starting a new chapter in my life by going to America soon.
Right, absolutely. That is the biggest next step for you. I mean, you obviously conquered the UK market, so America is the next thing to conquer. So how are you feeling about that? Now you're going to move on and you're going to show your work in America, and everybody's obviously going to feel the vibe there. What do you have to say about that big move that you're making?
I mean, last year I was in America most of last year.
Right.
Just kind of, meeting different people. I was in New York. I was with Jay for a little while.
Right.
Then I went to Philadelphia and I met up with Jim Beam, Charlie Hyde from Sunset.
Right.
And I'm really looking forward to it. I love being just in the deep end. Last year I lived there for about 2 months on my own. So I left everything here.
Okay.
But it's kind of like I have to be at both places. I have to be in the UK to run Rishi Rich Productions.
Right.
But I do want to go to America and work from there as well.
Right.
So I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see what happens. I'll be going there in a couple of weeks. I'll work from there, doing stuff for people here. I'm just gonna try and somehow just work it.
I'm sure you will. Bro, now, obviously coming to a question which is usually asked from every musician, so I just want to know this. I've always wanted to ask you this because, I mean, you've always displayed like different styles in your music. I mean, when you came out earliest, you came out with this R&B hip-hop fusion with that Desi sound, but then you developed your style even further. You were even into like two-step. You've done two-step, you've done reggaeton, you've done R&B hip-hop, you've done everything, and you fused them all together. But growing up, which artist inspired you when you were making music growing up? Like when you were like getting into music earlier back in the day?
I think two artists which I've been inspired by, and it's because of the household where I grew up, was Teddy Riley, who's from America,
right,
and R.D. Berman.
R.D. Berman, nice.
So I mean, if you listen to R.D. Berman's music, it's so ahead of its time. It's so fused.
It's timeless.
It's completely crazy.
Absolutely, it's timeless. I mean, R.D. Berman music is, no matter how old the tune gets, even the younger generation now loves it and sings it. So I can totally relate. Of course,
that's been my influences.
Right. Okay. So Teddy Riley and R.D. Berman. Now, obviously, you've done so much work with so many different artists, but one artist that you really enjoyed working with, like recently or from back in the day, any artist that you always love getting into the studio with, that you like feel a great vibe with when you're working with them?
I love working with Hunters, actually.
Oh, okay.
Hunters. I love working with Hunters, Miss Pooja.
Okay.
Obviously Jay, because I worked with him for like 7 years.
Right.
So we had such a laugh. I mean, everyone's got their own kind of. They bring something different to me, and I always say this, is that an artist always gives, a producer the fuel,
right?
To kind of come up with what they need to do.
Okay, now tell us about the Rishi Rich reunion. Now that is the biggest news that came out recently. Everybody's been like feeling it. Everybody's just getting back into the zone, and they're like waiting for you guys to come back together and just like blow us away with the next material that you guys will definitely, come out with. Now tell us about the Rishi Rich reunion. What's the deal with that? What's happening with that?
Well, I mean, about obviously 3 years ago, like we were part of the Rishi Rich project, and all three of us wanted to kind of concentrate on our own brand as such.
Right.
So, Jay went to America and done what he's done. He's done phenomenally well. Juggy went to India and started touring the world again. And I wanted to set up Rishi Rich Productions, my own record company. So, that's where I signed H-Dami, Mumsy, Romy, and everyone. And it only came, it was a month's time where, myself and Jay were speaking, and Juggy were like, let's do something. And,
it's been a while. You probably just called each other and been like, it's been a while, man. Let's get it back in the studio.
Yeah, I mean, like Jay and myself are always talking, and we have such a laugh. And if he's in London, if I'm in America.
Right.
And he was like, Rish, you know what? If we came together, it would be completely bonkers. People would become mad.
Right.
Because we didn't really kind of break up. We just kind of said, okay, well, we only did 2 or 3 tracks.
Right.
As the three of us together, but we toured the world.
Right, of course.
So we never had like a Rishi Rich Project album. We just did Dance With You, and we did Kya Kule Hum, and a few others.
Right.
And that was it.
Right. But even that gave you guys such a great feedback that people were just like, they went mental, and they're still waiting for you guys to come back together and doing something new. So I still feel
the magic between myself, Jay, Juggy, and Veronica. I haven't felt that with any other artist. I think the 4 of us together was just something else.
Yeah, a force to reckon with, I'm sure. Definitely. All right, now my next question is, obviously your crossover success has allowed you to act as a representative for British Asians all over the world and elevate the Asian scene. I mean, you're by far one of the biggest producers to ever come out from the UK Asian music scene. So tell us about your involvement with the British Asian Trust. Tell us a bit about that. Now that's obviously another great thing you're doing and working with. So tell us a bit about that.
Well, I was approached by the Princess Trust, British Asian Trust, and they said, look, would you like to be an ambassador for the trust? And I came on. I was like one of the youngest ambassadors. But I wanted to get involved